I agree with this, and all my friends say it that guys just don't approach anymore. Like in the past, maybe a guy would approach and come up to them, ask for the number. Once in a while it happens for me, but of course, like not as much as.
This is why men don't pursue women anymore. Because so many men are on dating apps nowadays, it has given them this illusion of an unlimited choice in women. So when men go out to bars or restaurants, they are not pursuing women anymore, because they know that when they go...
Well, we're back again. Today, you will be taking a look at the modern women's mind as to why men don't approach women anymore. This is honestly shocking. I thought this was what they wished for, but apparently it does not matter what men do. It's never enough, even if we leave them alone.
I agree with this, and all my friends say it that guys just don't approach anymore. Like in the past, maybe a guy would approach and come up to them, ask for the number. Once in a while it happens for me, but of course, like not as much as previously. And obviously, a guy can literally open up his Instagram app, search up girls in the city that he's in, go like a bunch of their photos on each of their pages. So you go on like 20 really pretty girls' pages, and then eventually one might follow back or like some photos back. And that is a hell of a lot easier for a guy and way less amount of rejection than to go up to a girl on the street. But if a guy is coming up to you on the street, and even if you're not interested in him, thank him and be kind, because it does take a lot of nerve to go up to someone and do that. And I do believe that real men still approach.
Well, it's a lot easier than to just walk in the street approaching a woman and getting accused. Plus, online dating is where you can play it safe. But personally, I believe in having a real-life interaction with someone. But in today's age, I might have to rethink that. Be careful out there.
Guys find it really difficult to just go up to a woman
So hard.
and just be like, hey, you mean, like you said, no signals, but I'm just gonna go for it. And I think some women believe that like men are just these, like if they don't do that, they don't like you enough, or do you know what I mean, that they have to give nothing, and then like a guy is just meant to just come across the room and approach you without fear of rejection or anything. And it's like sometimes you have to give some indication.
Even men have fear of rejection, but that doesn't matter. Whether he gets rejected or not, he has to make the first move, because she's not going to do it, especially if he's interested enough in getting to know that woman. And yes, showing some indication of interest is really helpful, especially for men since they're making the first move. But nowadays, guys are not really gonna approach. Let's find out why.
A lot of women nowadays, for some odd reason, wonder why the fuck men don't pursue them. Bro, why the fuck should we, bro? Like, why in the world would I go out of my way to pursue a woman when 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna get called some type of fucking rapist, or I'm gonna have allegations against me? I'm not trying to have that shit on me, bro. This ain't the fucking 90s anymore. Back in the day, men could literally pursue women all types of ways, bro, and it will be seen as romantic.
Well, you heard it from him. This is exactly most men fear, having false allegations against them or being called a gapist for approaching a woman. Now let's hear this woman who's asking, why don't men pursue women anymore? By the way, if you're here, subscribe. Let's hit 20K.
I just wasn't expecting guys to still be so immature in their 30s or be so scared of commitment, because now I feel like they have an extra, like when they're a frat boy and they're like, yeah, I'm just trying to live my life, like whatever, okay, that's still annoying, but we get it, you're 23 and you want to live life. But when you're 34, when you're 35 and you're still like, yeah, I don't know what I want, I'm like, dude, you're like old.
A man that in his 30s isn't the same thing as a woman being in her 30s. He is not afraid of commitment, it's just his time to enjoy himself. He probably has been working most of his life to make that happen, and he just would like to enjoy his freedom again. This is just a reaction from hitting the wall.
I want to be approached. I definitely want to be approached. I would love nothing more than a guy to approach me, to have the balls to come up and say, hey, how are you?
These other women out here are ruining it for these types of women. Some women actually enjoy having guys come up to them and have a real interaction, but some guys just rather get their passport, play it safe, and find a woman in another country. I think most men would choose that over getting false gape allegations.
This is why men don't pursue women anymore. Because so many men are on dating apps nowadays, it has given them this illusion of an unlimited choice in women. So when men go out to bars or restaurants, they are not pursuing women anymore, because they know that when they go home, they will have the backup of the dating app. It's way easier to sit on your sofa all night and to scroll and swipe and chat all night than to try and pursue a woman in a bar. And then there is the image that men have of women nowadays, that we have become demanding. Men know that women nowadays, they don't just want a provider, they want a man who is their best friend, their advisor, a good father to their children, helps in the household. And
I don't think a man would have a problem doing all these things for a woman he finds value in, but these women today are just crazy with their unrealistic expectations. And those men don't want to deal with that because they value their peace of mind over chaos.
knowing that we have this whole list of expectations, men are just paralyzed. They don't even start to pursue a woman. And another reason for why men don't pursue women anymore is that through texting, men can chat with so many girls at the same time. And for a woman, texting feels like he's pursuing her. But in reality, he's not, because texting doesn't need any effort. And after a month of having texted together, when a woman meets up with that man, she feels all bonded and maybe she even sleeps with him. And it's easy for that man to ghost her after that one night because he doesn't have any feeling of loss, since he didn't have to make any effort to pursue her.
In dating apps, most men are invisible to these women. These women message box be over the thousands, and for a man it's harder for him to even engage with a woman on those apps. It probably takes him weeks or even months for him to even go on a date. Unless that man is in the top 1%, that is. But bottom line is, unless that man is a Chad, he is going to struggle to even go on a date.
It's very easy, very simple. Women are not accepting the bare minimum.
Yeah, neither are men. That's why you're yapping to a fucking phone instead of a boyfriend or a husband. We gone.
I love getting older, but here's the one thing that sucks about being an adult. It just sucks about getting older. And truthfully, I age like fine wine. Like, I love being older. I have more experiences, more knowledge, and honestly, I feel like I'm Benjamin Button. I just get hotter. But here's the one thing that sucks. It's your friends. It's your friends, and it's not because you don't love them. It's because they all get married, and they all start having babies, and they have less time for you. I just FaceTimed 5 of my friends. 5 of them, count them, 5. And none of them answered. And sure, you know what? I have tape all over me because I just got 6 new tattoos tonight. Sure, that's what I'm doing with my time, opposed to thinking about maybe where I'd put my child in elementary school. But that's not the conversation I want tonight. All I want is for you to still be my friend. And now they don't have time for you. The older you get, the less time your friends have for you. And that's the hardest part about getting older.
This is what happens when women hit the wall. They just can't seem to find a man who would settle with them. Her friends are too busy handling real responsibilities while she's out here gaining more experiences. When is she gonna learn?
Putting yourself in situations with people because your standards are so low for yourself, so you end up going not even for bare minimum, or even bare minimum being so good to you because you've not received anything else better.
Oh my God.
Because that happens to me all the time. And I have friends knocking me into my senses, just like, Talita, that's just bare minimum. I'm like, that's not even bare minimum. But you think it's so great because you've not received anything as good.
Yeah, people are getting 1 or 2, but you're getting, let's say, -5.
Yeah.
So even if a person, your partner gives you -2, which is not even the bare minimum, you think it's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my God, guys, let that sink in.
Right. So before you let that sink in, you'll need to examine yourself to see if you're offering enough on the table for the other party. That's a very important step. Some, if not most, women tend to skip.
All right, y'all, so serious question, right? Why is it that the new generation of men want to be pursued? They want women to chase after them in order for them to feel like a woman is worthy of them chasing her or pursuing her or going out their way to make her feel special. When was it a thing for a man to automatically feel like he's the prize? Like, is it a money thing? Is it like, I don't like that. Like, y'all very sassy. Like, y'all want to be women so bad. And I'm not bashing all men. All men don't act like that. So don't come in my comments trying to talk crazy. But I just really want to know, like, this has been on my mind so heavy lately. Like, men really want you to pursue them and to do the utmost to prove that you really want to mess with them, or you really want to, you interested, or what. Ew. Where's your balls, sweetie?
Shut up, bitch! I think she's looking for these two words, showing interest. If a man is putting in the effort showing interest in a woman and it's not being reciprocated, then it's time for him to go. It takes two people to make a relationship work, and men don't feel like they're the prize. They are, simply because they are the ones out here giving wedding rings to W men. And she's the one that wants to get married. And apparently a man who wants to feel wanted isn't a man in her eyes. That's just crazy.
I was today years old when I found out that men are not supposed to chase after women. Proverbs 31. Don't chase after women and lose your strength. Women like that have destroyed kings.